And looky what we have here. A special little treat today, I'd say. Our intrepid explorers managed to finish something properly, and no one died. Well, no one important. For once. Well, it seems they've gotten up to some interesting things in the meantime, and they've even made a new friend temporarily. I'm sure they won't get it up to any shenanigans. But let's take a closer look, shall we? Why don't we raise the curtain? And speaking of which, let's welcome this week's player. Digital Dice?
Howdy.
Digital and dice.
Digital and Dice, excuse me.
Is it? I don't know. I acted like I knew what I was talking about.
100%. Digital and dice.
Okay.
Who will be taking the role of Truth 2.0. And we'll get into that a bit more in a moment. As a brief recap of last time, they had just made it through the Asylum, they had killed the Warden, they had managed to run down their enemy, who, in trying to sprint away, ended up getting stabbed and eaten by a killer cannibal, who had less interest in eating our explorers, which is probably a good thing.
Thank God.
However, the plan to get Alistair's sister out of there and then explore the basement was cut, unfortunately, short, as the guard and the church kicked down the doors and ran into the Asylum to look things over and make sure things were okay. Things were clearly not okay. Alistair and Miguel managed to get downstairs and look through the basement only for a few minutes, seeing lots of arcane scrawlings, dead bodies, different kinds of fluids, some from the bodies, some not from bodies, some you had no idea. There was also, as noted, a somewhat banged up robot down there. What do they call it? A cogwork, I believe?
Clockwork.
Clockwork, thank you. A clockwork. That, of course, being of somewhat interest to Alistair and Miguel. When they heard the guards rushing in and started to charge down the stairs, they quickly saw if they could maybe sneak something away inside him, but there was no time, so they memorized as much as they could from the walls, and when the guards came down, they claimed, using that writ that they had procured, that this was a friend of theirs, and he was hurt, and they had to get him out of here. The church bought it, the guards bought it, they said, okay, well, you're officially supposed to be here, that's good, get on out of here. And they were allowed to leave without being horribly slaughtered.
Or beaten. Frank would know all about that.
It's true, but thankfully, Frank wasn't down there, so it wouldn't have been quite as bad.
Not the boots!
Now, since then, they have, of course, tried to keep busy. Alistair has written down what he could remember from the basement. Miguel, were you also doing the same thing? You are interested in the arcane arts, I believe?
Yes.
Now, this is all very clearly shady, dark shit. So the question is, did you write it down, and are you interested in that?
I could definitely teach you how to read it. Eyebrow wiggle. Some more arcane knowledge might impress Charybdis. Eyebrow wiggle.
Yeah, as I'd say, I'm not really writing down any of the, if it's obviously demonic garbage, I'm kind of like,
Hey, it might be diabolical. Very different.
Very different.
Very different.
As in Vaeri. In any case, is that a no in your case, then?
I'd probably write down some of the more, like, simplistic stuff just to be like, what is this?
Okay, so trying to keep it in mind, not looking to explore it as much as learn about it. Like, be aware of it, be ready against it.
Yeah, because it obviously looks bad, but I'm just like, what is this? It does not look good.
I shouldn't practice this, but I want to know about it.
No. Okay. Since that time, I believe, Kai, you have learned how to read somewhat?
Yes, I've learned how to read common, or at least the basics.
Alright, so you've learned the basics of common.
Could learn in that time. However much I could learn within that time.
You learned the basics of common reading. However, you seem to have a slight challenge with a few words, but that's alright.
I wouldn't know anything to do with that.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Frank, what have you been doing in the meantime? In your downtime since then, you have been...
Frank's been writing a writing his books about the adventures we've had so far and trying to sell them.
Okay, so he's just kind of looking to peddle his wares in that case.
Yep.
Delilah, what have you been doing since then?
I'm not entirely sure.
All right. There's always, of course, trying to get right back into your practice. There's trying to sort of recover from what's going on and see if you can go into your go into your next encounter with a bit more clarity of thought.
Recovery sounds good.
All right. So basically, Delilah's not risking anything. She's just sort of taking some time to relax and make sure nothing gets in the way of her work next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got.
Also, I did start to learn how to cast magic. That was a thing I did do.
Yeah, we got magic on several fronts, in fact. And as for Truth 2.0, or Brobot, you, of course, as noted, woke up in a place called the Crossings. It's a northern city. It's not that cold. However, it's also extremely clearly divided into what area is used for what. For example, you have an area down here known as Redemption. That's where the church is. You have a place over here called Coins. Can you guess what happens there?
Coin things.
Yes, there's a lot of trade there. There's a lot of that's where a lot of bartering goes on. The merchants.
Out of curiosity, who turned my key?
Probably me.
Would that have been
a dumbass?
That would have been an interesting wake up. Last I recall, I would have been standing on a tower giving a speech, and then I woke up. Where?
So Alistair's place is this like rundown. It's looking slightly better, but it's still a very rundown, burnt, partially mansion.
A drug den.
I do not appreciate this.
Sorry, a den of iniquity.
I appreciate this like about equally as no. It's a noble house that has fallen on hard times and is on its way back to... That sounded a lot less like folly before I looked at the walls again. The peeling wall paint doesn't really get better with age, as it turns out.
I approve. You have not been flippant with your money.
It just like glances over, it's like, God, I hope I'm not the only person in the room with this robot. I am the only person in the room with this.
Stands up to full height, 11'2", looking down. Hello.
Yeah, so Alistair looks like really pale and sickly, and he is less than half your height. So he's just like glances up like, hello.
I hold out one giant hand. I am Truth 2.0. What is your name?
Alistair Vaeri. Pleasure to meet you. We found you in
Very what?
He knows what's up.
Just like, I don't even have to deal with this from Choir Boy.
You have choir boys.
Oh, we have a singular choir boy. You should make sure to make mention of it. It's a very proud part of what he does in his day-to-day.
Understood.
You'll recognize him. He's the only redhead among us.
His head is red. Understood. Where are we?
So we're in the Crossings. It's
Where is the Crossings?
Pardon?
Where is the Crossings?
Just pauses. Like in a metaphysical or like in an actual literal sense?
I think about that for a second. Yes.
Oh, gods help me. we're in the middle of God, I don't even. We're in the middle of the provinces. I don't know if you're. Yes.
I understand there are provinces.
Whatever. I'll take it. I'll take it. In a metaphysical sense, we are alive and not dead, and that is a very important thing to mention these days because sometimes it doesn't seem that way. Also, we're in, I guess the less frugal section of the crossings. It just, like stares at his voice. Just a fact of where my lot in life has led me, but managing. There's some other people I'd like to introduce you to. Inwardly.
Of course.
Partly so I'm not alone in the same room as you.
You have nothing to fear from me.
Yet.
I say, leaning really close to his face.
You say that, but it's entirely possible the floorboards will give way under your weight and you'll crush me, and given my luck, that actually doesn't even seem like that far of a cry.
If somehow your fleshy cage were to be injured, I would help you.
You know what? That's probably the nicest thing someone said to me today. Alright, let's introduce you to everyone else.
Lead the way.
Hey, Kai! Choir boy!
Yes, I'm right here.
Oh good, I have someone to introduce you to.
Okay.
I also just...
One beneficial thing is, most people in this group are staying with Alistair. I don't believe all, but most of you are, just because it's cheaper on rent, and it helps him out, so there's kind of a mutual bond going on there. Thus, meeting everybody is not actually that difficult.
Oh, good.
It's more just yelling within the house.
Yeah, just yelling within the house. Actually, is there anyone who's not staying here anymore?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Is Delilah, did you decide to stay with Alistair, or are you still standing around? Yeah, okay. In that case, Miguel, how about you? You're, I believe, the last one on the list of maybe.
What?
Did you stay with at Alistair's place or no?
Probably, yeah. I don't really have very many other places to go unless I'm on job.
So in which case, I totally have a bunch of tenants at my place. This is beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm a little over 800 pounds, so your floor is probably creaking a little.
Yeah, he's
Kai is 5'2" and very skinny. This is terrifying.
Just, if you could walk on that side of the hallway. It's the less burned side than the hallway. It would be good. I mean, I'd like to actually get at the basement, because there's parts of it that are collapsed. You might collapse right through to that part, but please don't right now. I don't have the money to afford. Thank you.
You remind me of my book, Linda Become Human. Well, it's nice to meet you either way.
Hello. Which one of you is the choir boy?
I guess that's me. But I don't actually do choir, so
Neither do I.
Oh, don't be so modest. You're an absolutely fantastic choir boy.
We did encounter you in a church.
Yeah, well, I encountered you in a church, Silver Spoon, and you don't seem to be an altar server.
I have done that.
You've altar served?
I have served at altars, yes. Do you follow the new god?
No, sorry.
I do. The new god is awesome.
I agree.
Delilah just has this look of disgust on her face.
Frank puts his arm around the robot like, we're gonna get along great.
Perhaps it is because your head is red.
That's as to why I don't follow the new god.
It makes sense.
Alistair's just leaning on a windowsill, like pointing away for everyone laughing.
Kai's like trying really hard to. I don't think that's the case, but that's an interesting theory.
I must thank all of you for turning my key.
Oh, no problem. I figured the alternative was you might get, stored away somewhere as a relic. And I figured you might have an idea of... Do you know how you're asked where the crossings are, but maybe you're just... You said you're 3, but you also haven't had your key turned, so...
I am unaware of what year it is.
I give him the year.
Alright.
How long have I been away? Or do I know?
You have been out for approximately 2 years.
I nod slowly. I have been asleep for a long time.
Okay. Like, are we talking long, like, tens of years, like hundreds?
I look around the room. Give or take 2 years or so.
Okay, that's a lot less dramatic than I thought, but, would you possibly have... Do you remember being transported anywhere?
No.
Damn it.
I remember shouting. I remember rushing of feet. I remember I was giving a speech to a mass of people below. I remember those people were surrounding a dead body. I remember I threw that body off of that tower.
Oh!
Well, that doesn't sound good.
It was a
What's
bad
going on
man.
there?
The man was bad.
Like, cannibal bad? Because we had to kill a bunch of them.
He refused to feed the poor, although he had more wealth than he knew what to do with.
Oh, valid.
Well, that doesn't sound very good, but okay.
Your actions are valid. Him not feeding the poor is not valid.
Agreed. The new god is very, very clear on this sort of thing.
I thought you were gonna say the new god is valid.
He is also valid.
That's a bit of an extreme view, but, well, we're allies, so...
I mean... You did turn the rude boy onto the path of the new god, did you not, Frank? And were his actions sometimes extreme, but still a different expression of the new god's,
Well, he was
will.
a bit troubled. He was a bit of a troubled soul, but I think he's on the path to becoming a great follower of the new god.
Very good. Very good. It makes me very glad to hear that.
Sometimes bad people can change and not
Sometimes
need to be killed. Very rarely.
Oh, right. So, speaking of bad people, we've recently, I mean, just would like to mention this, but, you know, we've recently had the things of, I've had to pay the bills for the house. I'm not actually really sure if we have all that much money to continue the house and not starve. So I was thinking maybe we should go see the church about that writ in the first place and see if
I would like to see the church.
Yes! So would I. And then also maybe find something else in the meantime. So, is everyone, like, concurred that we ought to go present ourselves to the church with our writ? Be like, hey, we were part of that investigation that happened. There's
You are investigating something.
We were investigating something. I'm still investigating a little bit. But, yes. Right now we're seeking, recompensation for a good act, because whilst certainly in a ideal world there would be no need for such a thing, I do unfortunately need to pay for the roof over our head and also food.
In a perfect world, you would not.
Correct. Our world isn't very perfect, though.
We will make it so.
I'll leave that to you, big guy. So, is everyone on board with the idea of going to show Brobot the churches and also basically try and beg for money?
Sure, let's do it.
Anything to prevent Brobot from chucking me off of a bell tower.
We don't withhold money from the poor, I guess, if we become wealthy. Good thing there's no chance of that anytime soon.
The new god will provide.
You know, it's really funny, and getting more funny, actually, the more things are said, as far as going to the church, never becoming wealthy, and the new god will provide, because it's not too long, as you're talking, there is a sound at the door.
And it stayed on its hinges, so I'm very happy. A little bit of maintenance.
Someone has hit your hovel.
Alistair looks so fucking mad when you say that. Just like, I'll...
Miguel is over here just laughing hysterically.
See to the door. Feel free to regale the others with more tales of, your lessons of the new god. I'm sure they really do need it, because we haven't had much of an opportunity to hear from members of the faith, given we've been away on business so often.
Of course.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go answer the door while they get sermonized at.
It's like, I want to go. That's too bad. Sit down.
I have more to say.
While Alistair's going, I'm legitimately just... if Robot's about to start, I'm literally just like, I'm going to actually go and make sure that he's okay because of the fact that there has been a lot of people trying to kill us recently. Please do excuse me.
I have to go read about my religion because I've completely forgotten what I've done.
Why?
That's not in character.
What have you forgotten?
What have you forgotten? Have you sinned?
If you have sinned, be aware. There is a small tower I will throw you off as a partial punishment.
Yeah, it's just like, there is a second floor to this hovel.
His religion is witchcraft, and I was like, I've forgotten what the witchcraft religion even is supposed to be in this game.
Paganism. It's like Wiccan. Well, it's basically Wiccan.
Yeah. But
so,
there we go.
Yeah, after the wrapping at the door, or the hitting of the hovel, as it were, you open up the door, and behind there is a few official-looking individuals. They're wearing very sharp-looking and very angular black clothing. They have tall hats, which are very flat on the top, very smooth along the sides. They have rather unamused is a good descriptor for their faces. However, standing in front of them is a certain father that you recognize.
Is it the one who is insane? Because that's a problem.
No, it's not. It's Father Morgan. It's Father Morgan.
Okay, that's less worrisome.
He's Alistair, right?
Yeah. Pleasure to see you again, Father Morgan.
Good to see you as well. And he kind of turns and he gestures very, very awkwardly to the people behind him, who don't so much as blink when they're gestured to. These fine gentlemen are part of some new measures being employed around the crossings as of recently. But it's good. It's very good. It will help keep the faith in the city.
What's the merchant guy's name again?
Master Dreen.
Yeah. Would they possibly be tied to Master Dreen's initiative to ensure that practitioners of the dark arts might see their just deserts?
That at least gets your response from them. They look at you and make eye contact, and then go back to what they were doing, staring. Morgan, on the other hand, gives a very tiny nod, and he's... It turns out that they're quite pleased, actually, with what you've all done in the Asylum of recently.
Would you like to come in for tea?
Thank you. Yes, of course.
You too, gentlemen, of course. We did actually acquire some documents while we were there, which might be pertinent to, well, the debacle that happened there. I figured we were going to actually go and reach out to you about this, since we were here on behalf of the church in the first place, which
One of them speaks like winter froze over. That would be a wise decision.
So specifically, the documents I'm going to be bringing are the ones we picked about the missing people. Basically, the documents we were intending on giving them in the first place. Nothing of the suspicious books or whatever, but I'm keeping those. Especially if I haven't gone to read them yet. But the things are like the falsified notes where they're disappearing people, and the notes that Miguel had figured out for how they were doing it, and the indications that, so they've been just basically disappearing patients for a bit now.
That's it. They aren't just talking to you. They're supposed to say Morgan looked like he was trying to be nice about it. The three behind him looked like they were going inside anyways.
That's fine. I invited them.
Exactly. So Morgan is coming inside, and the other three march in single file right behind him. And
I direct them to a sitting room where our lovely Truth 2.0 is sermonizing, because what better way to ingratiate myself with any representative of the new faith than to put them in the same room
as a sermon.
Yeah, perfect time, Father Morgan. We were just going over the new god, actually.
Frank just sitting there with his arms in the air. Praise the new god.
Mm-hmm.
Praise me, the new god.
And the 32nd catechism, of course, is talking about how cruelty takes root in the soul, and that you must avoid any wanton disparity. Hello.
The last few words that you say are actually mimicked, not obviously not in perfect intonation. They almost sound more robotic than you, but there is a cold passion behind that robotic tone. As the first one that enters the room looks straight at Truth as you're talking, says the same words as you, at the same pace as you, gives you a very affirming nod, and then proceeds walking on.
You walk back in, and Kai's eyes have kind of just glazed over for the most part, and he's like nodding.
And Kai is dead.
Kai's dissociating again.
Yeah, Kai's associating. Delilah is actually dead, just sitting in the back. Oh my god, this sucks so much.
I'm sitting in the middle of a couch that has now snapped into
Heathens, all of you except for me.
Yeah. In any case, so you, of course, most of you except for Truth, know Father Morgan from the church in Redemption, where he was talking to Frank, and he gave you the warning about how they thought that you'd stolen a boat and murdered somebody for no good reason.
That turned out to be completely false.
Exactly, that definitely didn't happen, so you're all good. In any case, Morgan walks in with three very intense-looking people, and they all sit down. Now, Morgan sits down like a normal individual. These three sit down against the wall, as in they bend their legs, backs to the wall, and sit down on nothing.
Would I have any idea of who these people, like, what their organization is?
Quite possibly. What's your backgrounds?
Let's see. Religion, acolyte of the new god. Profession, pilgrim.
Profession, pilgrim. Okay, these are probably witch hunters.
Oh, okay.
So they are more than likely here at behest of someone else, because witch hunters generally do get called to places. There are a few pilgrims, which is another place you would have heard of them, but they're generally called to places by the organizations they work for to find and purge. And
that's a good thing there are no witches here.
Yeah. It's witches and general practitioners of the dark art. Apparently, if rumors are to be believed, the higher-ups can sense the corruption of individuals just by looking at them, and will purge them without mercy. So, probably a good thing these guys aren't higher-ups.
Hi, Delilah.
But regardless, of course, you know that. But specifically, the sitting down against the wall gives you that little tip-off in that case, because they tend to be believers in keeping the body strong, not allowing too much in the way of comfort. They're basically death Amish.
Perfect.
Any case, so they sit down against the wall, clearly tensing up their legs slightly and quote-unquote relaxing as they stare into the room. And Father Morgan looks back, and he looks over at Truth, and he
Would you like a seat, Father Morgan? These gentlemen don't seem to have much for the small creature comforts, but perhaps you'd appreciate one.
I'd appreciate that. Yes, please. Frank, is this a friend of yours? He motions over to Truth.
Yes.
Of course, he's my new best friend. He follows Astrid and the new god, apparently.
Ah, that's lovely to hear. We could always use more members of the faith around here.
Of course, of course.
They located me in a basement.
And the basement?
We located him in a basement, and then we thought it prudent, given his immense size, that, you know, it would be best to take him with us. That said, you saw how things went over there. It's no surprise we needed to bring him back here.
I personally did not, but these gentlemen and their associates did, which is actually why we're here.
You're fortunate.
So I've been told. So one of the three against the wall, the one the furthest left, looks over to Truth. In the basement, what did you witness?
My key was not turned. I witnessed nothing.
Unfortunate.
Agreed.
The head just swivels right back, stares straight forward.
Are you guys sure you're comfortable? We have better seats, you know.
I may have ruined this couch.
The one in the middle looks at Frank. Comfort is not a requirement.
You didn't ruin the couch, you merely made it 2 couches.
2 smaller, more comfortable couches.
The new god provides.
He did provide us 2 love seats instead of a couch, that is correct.
I stand up, I turn, I pick up half of the couch in one hand, and I just kind of motion towards the other guy to sit in it and just put it down near him.
All right. Well, Father Morgan looks at the quote-unquote love seat, and he... Thank you. And once it's put down, he sort of wedges himself into the side of it, because obviously, you know, it's bent and sloping down at a very awkward angle, and he just sort of pushes himself in front of the corner and awkwardly half stands, half leans against it.
I nod.
I'm going to go make tea for everyone here. Do carry on.
Of course. Well, of course, you had come to me recently regarding the writ and your investigations into the asylum. Well, as it turns out, I suppose you already know that there were some problems going on in the asylum regarding the warden and some of the treatment of the inmates and possibly a few other things.
Ah, yes. I think I have some of the files still lurking around there that I was waiting for the appropriate people to discern it with. I'm assuming you're them.
They all look at you at the same time. And Father Morgan just goes, yes, and nods about 6 times in a row.
I'll take that as a yes. Just pull out the file.
One stands up, walks over to you, and extends a palm.
Hand.
Takes it, walks back over, sits back down again, and opens up and just starts reading. The other 2 are still staring straight forward.
Have you found any witches? I say to the ones on the wall.
The one turns, the one that had originally looked your way, and they just give a nod. There are problematic individuals being dealt with as we speak. They will inform us of what they know.
If you ask them, I am sure they will tell you.
I am certain they will tell us everything.
I just nod, standing awkwardly to one side of the room.
You all do seem to be the persuasive type.
You're pretty sure that the middle one would have smiled if they knew what a smile was. But in any case, Father Morgan very patiently waits for them to stop doing or saying anything before turning back to all of you. So, you see, given the work that you've done so far in uncovering, both with the unfortunate case of Master Dreen and poor Candace, and, well, with the Asylum work and what you've managed to discover, it turns out that these fine gentlemen are offering you a position of sorts.
A position, you say?
Yes. You see, there are very few capable individuals that are practiced in the proper procedures of running business and establishment, as well as handling the needs of those with special treatment in mind, quite as much as some of you. And as it turns out, in searching through the records, part of the reason they, and he looks back to the other three, suspect that Miss Vaeri may have been kept there for as long as she was, may have been the fact that ownership of the asylum can go one of several ways, one of which is actually to the Vaeri family. So, given you've proven yourselves and given you have any emotions to Frank with a smile and then to Truth with an expression, and given we have upstanding members who fight for the new god and seek to spread their truth and bring others to light, and we also have those who are practiced with financial upkeep and the like, the position is being offered to assist in that regard by taking over care of the asylum. There will, of course, be a small stipend doled out to those who participate. You would be passing on the information that you find to the individuals that are behind me. They would provide you with certain kinds of information, and you could choose to act upon it, or you could choose not to, if that was something that you decided to do. He says in a way that says, don't do that.
I feel like Alistair's wandered in with, boiling water in cups around the time stipend popped up as a word.
Yes, very, very interesting. What, pray tell,
apparently,
would we have to be doing?
Well, for one, there would be the general idea of taking care of the asylum. The asylum itself does need tending. I believe that the gentlemen and their associates will be taking care of certain very dangerous portions down in the basement. But aside from that, they will be caring for the patients, making sure that the money is actually spent properly, as opposed to being, shall we say, misplaced.
Siphoned.
Yes, siphoned. To improper places, so making sure funding is used adequately to care for the asylum patients, to see that they're treated to the best of everything's abilities, as well as keeping track of what you seem to have been doing in the first place. We're looking for members of the dark arts, unscrupulous users of terrible magics and dark powers.
Definitely can't have any of those terrible people wandering around this city.
Of course
I
not.
was actually going to ask, so if we are going to be working around and on this premise, would it at all be too much to ask for the basement to be sealed off? Because unfortunately, some of the members of the patients were being apparently used to excavate down there, according to the warden's ramblings.
I'm almost certain that, and he is cut off as the one that had initially spoken to you turns. Once again, winter froze over and just... Once all necessary information has been extracted, it will be taken care of fully.
The asylum will still be standing, so that those patients in need of help will still have a premise to go to, correct?
Of course, there would be nothing to offer you otherwise.
He makes a valid point.
I see. I mean, thoroughness is sometimes necessary.
At times. But that place is not yet in need of being purged entirely. Just certain aspects.
Father Morgan, considering
Yes?
The staff did seem to have some rather questionable morals.
Morgan gives
Well, shall we assume that we are hiring entirely new staff?
Morgan just looks at Alistair, and with a pale face and straight lips, he just says, I didn't see any staff.
Oh. Well, is there any way we might be able to ask of you for some volunteers, perhaps from the congregation, and recommendations for anyone who might be familiar with medicinal arts for staffing people?
I hold up a giant hand.
Yes.
The...
It appears
I am currently unemployed.
It appears we have our first volunteer in that case.
Oh, good.
The one who, once again, who had spoken along with the verse that Truth was speaking, gives one more very small approving nod.
I must raise at least enough money to purchase a new couch.
I would certainly appreciate that, and, I mean, it helps to have someone that doesn't necessarily need to sleep, as the care of patients is something that does require people to be alert day and night.
I am alert day and night.
I am most certain that you are.
Well, since do we have to go through you three and or Father Morgan for hiring?
Go through Morgan. You will hire 2 individuals that we send you. Aside from that, who you hire is your business. The budget will be spent properly, we presume.
Of course, of course.
So, Morgan, you would vouch the hiring of our compatriot here, as he certainly does need gainful employment, and we can be assured that a faithful member of the New God would have the compassion needed for this task, yes?
I presume so, and if Frank agrees that he is of upstanding moral value, then who better to know than Frank in this town?
I
He
have
wants
no
all
references.
I'll be your reference, buddy. He's a great follower of the New God. I believe he'll teach the poor people in need of mental assistance. So everything they need to know. Guidance. See, he's great already.
Well, it seems he has one reference then.
What was the name of the priest who we rescued but was fucked up in the first thing?
Oh, you're,
No, I'm asking you, Celia. I just want to know.
Wasn't it like Father... God.
Father Man?
No, it was like Father McGregor?
Father Padre.
It's Father Gregory.
Okay, and perhaps having someone who believes so strongly in the faith on staff might be helpful to Father Gregory, who it would be good if we could recover him so that he may once more help the community at large.
If possible. He doesn't look hopeful at that, but he doesn't seem to disagree with it.
I can be very persuasive, I say, leaning in towards the guy.
Morgan is... I believe that... it's not a case of persuasion in this case. I'm afraid he's been driven quite mad when he had several pieces of himself removed by some horrid monstrosity.
All can be healed through the New God.
Well, you are certainly devout.
Yes.
So, yes, we'll be looking forward to further suggestions from you, Father Morgan, both for members of your congregation as well as anyone in the community who might be more medicinal oriented, so we can hire them on. If that's the case, is there anything else that you gentlemen would need from us?
Not for the moment. aside from anything that you happen to have obtained during your stay in the asylum the first time, we do need to be aware of all necessary information.
Did you grab the cauldrons from the warden's office? There was something distressing about them. I'm not sure if we mentioned that. That is something that slipped my mind, but they were something to do with rats?
They have been taken.
Good.
There seems to be a piece missing, but it will be found.
There was a really tall creature that spoke High Archaic for some reason.
Oh, he was stabbed.
Oh. Well, you might want to pick him up.
You refer to the organ filch, or what remained of it?
Yes, indeed. That sounds
I would assume that's what
about right, I guess.
I'm... Alistair's just like arms folded trying to think.
One to the far side. Some would compare it to 5 fairies in a trench coat.
Oh! Yeah, wait.
Oh,
that was
thing.
an insult, wasn't it?
Yes.
That seems ill-advised.
It was never confirmed or denied that they were not 5 fairies in a trench coat.
It was, I mean, I confirmed it was not 5 fairies in a trench coat, Frank, when it died.
You would need at least 8 to fill the coat.
It is entirely possible. You don't know.
That said, one of them, the middle one this time, turns to look at Alistair. You observed its death.
Yep. It, basically was trying to run from us because we nearly caught it in a room, and then it got stabbed by cannibals, who then ate each other, which was really distressing.
Ate one another after eating it.
Yeah, they were going to eat us, and I just was like, hey, you know, he looks tastier than me. And they actually took that as a suggestion. Really regretting that choice of words.
Miguel over here is like internally face palming so much, like
really regretting that choice of words.
How many cannibals were present?
But the front door was 3, right?
There were 3 that burst into the front door.
Yeah, 3. There was 3. They burst through the front doors when the thing, I think it was the thing, rang the bell to signal dinner.
Frank kind of hugs himself and shakes and is like, it was so horrible watching them eat themselves.
Oh yeah, you actually gained insanity. No, wait.
Yeah,
you're at your first point of insanity.
Frank's over here having war flashbacks. Miguel's over here like, I saw them burst through the door, and that was about it.
Frank, do me a favor, roll me a strength check.
Alright.
Oh, give us a 1.
Oh no.
You don't want a 1.
Give us a 0.
Okay, you're fine. You were successfully treated and did not gain some sort of disease from having literal shit rocks smashed into your eye.
Oh,
yep.
I was talking about him vomiting from stress flashbacks.
Oh no, that's fine. That'd be Kai. But anyway.
And no diseases from being bitten by foaming cannibals.
Also, I hope you're wearing your bowler hat, Alistair.
Top hat. Yes. I'm never not now.
I sleep with it on.
I sleep with it on. It is glued to my head.
I just realized we didn't actually mention that Kai lost insanity by gaining a quirk.
Oh, how much insanity? Right, you're down to 2 now, right?
3.
3? No, I mean, what's your current insanity? Is it 2 or 3?
It's 3.
Oh.
Also, probably obvious by now that no one's mentioned it, but Frank did separate the sword from his arm.
I kind of presumed he did that before he took a rest.
Yeah.
I stabbed myself in my sleep. Maybe I should have switched this off.
In the middle of the night, he just gets an itchy crotch, and he has a really bad time.
Oh, no.
I mean, better than an itchy butthole there.
I don't know about that.
Unpleasant.
But in any case,
It's still very on brand for Shadow of the Demon Lord.
it is hateful defecation. Anyways, so Morgan is all right. So I presume you've already gathered anything that you need to hand over to our associates here. Like, he looks to Miguel and kind of gives him a nod. He knows he has. Was there anything else?
I glance
removed?
over to the others. I'm like, so I'm glancing also, so I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I don't recall anything. How about you? I know we took first aid kits to treat everyone else, but I can't overly think of if we found anything. Did we actually?
They found me.
Did we find any money? I'm trying to remember that.
There's a bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, we had found a bit of finances, though. I mean, considering that the warden had admitted to rather intentionally torturing my sister, I think any finances that were sent to the facility to help the care of my sister are more or less rightfully due back to me.
Many suffered under that one's care. We are not so much looking to recover the lost funding. Money is not of import except in what it can do to aid the world under the new god.
Is there anything in particular you're searching for? Something we might have seen outside or in the hands of a patient?
There is a small box that we believe to be of importance. There is a single golden coin marked with an odd symbol. Then there's also the matter of 2 gold coins, roughly perhaps 40 silver. But that is less important.
So, none of that we know about, correct?
Oh, Kai knows about.
Nope, I don't know nothing.
It's just like a literal, like.
Out of character.
In character, we did not come across that, but like.
Everyone but Kai knows nothing about the lockbox.
And none of us know about the lockbox, though. I think also the money we didn't know about, but right now
You don't know
it's
about
sort
the
of.
money.
I mean, he just explicitly stated the money, so it's just like very honestly, I never saw such a thing. And then he turns around and starts serving tea and stares at Kai.
Can we assume that Kai's got a pretty good poker face?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
Okay, cool.
depends on if someone's trying to scrutinize you, but, for now, you're doing fine.
I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Kai's still half dissociating. He's only half paying attention.
It's like, so much talk about the new god, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm serving up tea to everyone, and I just like...
Miguel's just gonna be like, I'm sorry, none of that I actually know about. I was a bit too preoccupied trying to link all these estranged files to anything of note.
And then I just casually stick the teacup in Kai's lap, like, just so they can hold on to it, but also, like, have scalding tea, dick.
Kai kind of takes it and it's like, thank you. But it's kind of like, thank you, go away. Because you just spilled tea on my crotch, and also you're implying things.
I take the tea.
Thank you.
I
for
do not
this.
need
I will
to
use it
drink.
to pour on my head.
I was going to
I do not need to
actually...
drink, but I shall.
I was going to actually ask if you were going to want the pot when I was done serving everyone else, considering it seems like a tea would be sort of lackluster for you. I mean, if you want the cup, that's fine.
I just like hold it in the middle of my hand and let it sit there for, a while.
Okay, I mean... You can
I'm part of things.
You can enjoy the scent of the tea.
At some point, we need to
Clockworks
get.
can't smell.
At some point, we need to get Truth 2.0 to meet the Robo Band.
I said that. I was like 100%. We just need another one shot where it's just all robos all the time, all robros all the time.
Tasty tea that I'm holding.
Yeah, you know, just casually serve the trio of witch hunters, and then I'm gonna go and, God damn it, Sasha. And you know, then I'm gonna sidle away. I'm like, but yes, I was going to actually ask how much the stipend for running the asylum would be, anyways, just so I could account for, well, budgeting. It needs maintenance, obviously, as does, and gestures to the house. So I just want to make sure that I can attend everything, honestly.
That will be determined once the asylum's affairs are better sorted out. But it will be above a living wage, considering the duties you'll be taking on, both here and outside the crossings. Evil travels. You must as well.
Right, which, considering you mentioned outside, does that mean you have anything in mind currently?
We have heard some rumblings. There's a farmer. He's offered a reward, seeking something to do with his missing hogs. It smells of something being wrong. But if it turns out to be simple mercenary work, that is acceptable. You will not always find evil when you seek it. Sometimes you just find missing pigs. What matters is that you try. What matters is that you seek to do good in the name of Astrid and the new god.
Well, we seem to be pretty good at finding evil, unfortunately, for our health.
Fear not for that. For the faithful, your health is nothing but a road bump, for when it fails you, only reward awaits.
That is correct.
Guess I'll return to the cycle.
Which, Father Morgan, I wanted to,
Which? They all look at you.
Father Morgan, I did want to address this. If we're to be sent off on investigatory work, I was wondering if we might be able to inquire as to whether our work at the asylum and getting it back in the hands of the people who it needs to be in the hands of would have been something that could earn us any recompense, so we can at least venture to investigate this new possible incident with better supplied.
Don't you know?
Suck a dick.
No.
Don't you know the funding is the opportunity to run the asylum?
No. Good deeds are their own reward.
The funding is we're not killing you. The funding is we're not killing you again for fucking up with Candace Dream.
And we just like Jack in the Box middle they just all three in unison, totally straight faces, just do the Jack in the Box middle finger thing with deadpan expressions. We're like, money, good deeds are their own reward. You can expect to be very rich in heart by the end of your employment with us.
Shit!
Fuck that!
But no, it's...
You're being paid in exposure.
My fucking heart!
It's people being hired for YouTube art all over again.
It's just YouTube and Twitch all over again. God.
Hank wants to battle. Yes.
His album's called Trade and Exposure.
Oh, God.
I cry.
If you require assistance in that regard before your first stipend, you can be supplied to a modest degree.
we would certainly appreciate the assistance in that regard, and we will aspire to bring even more quality work than what we were able to manage with our meager equipment as we did at the Asylum in halting that creature.
Create a list of what you wish. Leave it with Father Morgan. We will collect it in 2 days' time. Anything we find agreeable will be given. Make good choices.
Do we have a relative budget to work with so we know getting armor for everyone might be, of course, tricky, so we'd like to ensure we don't overstep the budget in that regards.
You may ask for what you think you need.
Okay.
As stated, money is not useful except for what it provides the world, what it provides for the new god to reshape what has fallen so far. As the faithful know, he says with a nod, first actually not even to Frank, with a nod first to Truth.
I'm nodding as well.
And then to Frank, and then to Morgan.
Yeah.
So basically, in interpreting, Miguel has this down easy. Alistair and Kai probably also have it down. Delilah possibly, Frank, and Truth, I'm not sure yet. But basically what he said is, you can ask for the moon if you like. If you get greedy, we're going to deny you on principle. But whatever we find reasonable on your list, we'll just give you. Because we have the funds to get done what we need to get done.
Basically.
So, man, there's plans here.
There is plans.
There is some pretty friggin' great plans. Cause
what's really funny,
a bunch of us have no fucking armor. We can finally get armor.
I mean, like, the only armor that I'm gonna get is soft leather. Because that's all I can wear.
What type of armor would I even get?
Get demon armor.
Actually,
just this big thing on the front that says "I heart devils."
What's your
written in dark speech? That'll be great.
We'll spray paint it on pink on the back in dark speech. But what's your strength, Delilah?
My strength is 11.
Okay, your strength is 11. What's your agility?
10.
Get Brigandine. It's 13 armor. So, can I assume that they would approve of soft leather armor for me and Kai?
You don't know.
And me.
Keep in mind, I actually do expect that list. You will be submitting a full list of everything you want all at once. Submit it all at once.
Wait, you only have 11, or you have less than 11 strength, Miguel?
Oh yeah, I'm not a strength based.
Oh. Oh man, okay, fair. And Delilah, you only have 10 strength? I thought you had 11.
No, I have 11.
Okay, you have 11. You can get Brigandine. So, soft leather armor, +1 time. And Frank, you had 10 or 11 strength?
10.
You need to get 11 so you can use a katana, by the way, but... Just saying...
Can you put a shield on the list for me?
You don't have one?
No.
Okay, shield ×1. Does anyone else need a shield?
I'll need a shield, I guess.
Shield ×2. Okay.
I could trade up to having a larger shield.
Oh my god, you... Wow.
I need, hand crossbow bolts. I only have, like, 3, so... I feel
I will gift somebody the shield my father made me in exchange for a larger one.
Oh, actually, that works perfect. Large shield, then, and plus shield. So we have one, we're only asking for 1 shield and 1 large shield, and that'll work, I think.
Okay, there's one that's a bit iffy. A spyglass.
How much is it, is the problem?
100 gold pieces.
Fuck that! fuck that. Nope. It'd be really lovely to have. We're not doing it. You know what?
Yeah, I get the feeling that they would deny that, even though it is specifically for scouting, so we don't fucking die.
Oh, you know what I was actually going to maybe ask for? An antitoxin potion. Maybe 2 of those? That seems wise. I think. Is it antitoxin? Yeah, 2 antitoxin potions and a growth potion that we'd feed to, like, Delilah or Truth, because it would really be funny. Do you know what a growth potion does, guys?
Yeah.
Does it make Delilah a giant tree?
It makes them size 2, or if it's size 2, it makes them 1 step higher. So, like, Truth would be a size 3 creature, so he'd be, like, the size of, like, a small house at that point.
And then you can just have him...
Prayer bot
do it
people. Again. Yeah, just... I mean, it lasts...
I can speak the word of the new god to everyone in visual range.
Wow. Yeah, that would be terrifying. Also, it would just make him super swole, so he could do stuff like just assume the prayer position and literally kill someone by clapping his hands around them.
Like you do.
Yep. So, that is my suggestions, honestly, would be, 2 antitoxin potions, a growth potion, and maybe some healer's kits. Does anyone else have any suggestions?
I added my hand crossbow.
Okay, how many?
I don't know. Do they come in, like, packs?
Do they come in packs? I don't know. They do, in fact. They come in packs of 5.
Come in packs of 5, then.
The only other thing that I can think of is probably another, like, 6 daggers.
Kids, 6 daggers.
Why does it say I'm typing?
I don't know. Growth potion. Health potion.
150 crossbow bolts.
No!
I did not put that!
50 crossbow bolts. Pistol, 15
Sasha is
bullets.
doing some...
Okay,
Wait a sec.
Pistol and 15 bullets.
I mean, I was considering just ask pistol and 1 bullet so I can end myself and be free of you guys, but you know.
You'd be healed immediately. This robot leans over. You are not done yet.
Okay.
The new god has need of you.
Okay. Oh, you know what? For Frank. That is just. By the way, I asked Frank. I asked Frank to write katana on a piece of paper, and I'm just gonna pin it to our note, so it looks like he just wrote katana on the back of our note like a child, and just blame him for that.
Okay.
But is everyone okay with the relative list right here? So 2 antitoxin potions.
We probably will want some lanterns.
Oh. Wait, don't we have lanterns already? Do some of us?
I don't.
But I don't know. You think I know what Kai has?
Anyone else has
think I
lanterns?
need a lantern?
We were poor boys. We didn't have lanterns.
I mean, good
Back in
point.
my day, we just stumbled through the dark and shattered our feet on glass like noobs.
Okay, wait.
Oh, we do need lanterns. I don't have a lantern.
I'll say 3 lanterns. It spaces it out to
Now,
1
the
for
question
every 2
is-
people, especially because a bunch of people have night vision.
I was gonna say we'll probably want 2 regular lanterns and then a spotlight lantern.
Okay. Overall, I think that's pretty good. By the way, did Charybdis have anything to mention about the fact that my fucking skull got replaced with a casting implement?
Probably quite a bit, but
That's for later.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Just to add to that, Alistair, just so that we have the backup, we may want 3 flasks of oil, just so that we have a refill for each of them.
I think we're starting to ask a bit much. Well, okay. 3 flasks of
You gotta
oil.
understand that the flasks of oil
Flasks
are 1
of-
copper piece apiece.
There we go. We have 3 flasks of oil, 3 flasks of holy water, because, I mean, we're dealing directly with the church. We just make sure not to splash it on Delilah, I guess. I don't say that.
Hiss.
I don't say that. I'm pretty sure, like, Truth would possibly punch her right into the ground for that.
I'm pretty sure if he said that, it would sound like, that is a joke, but it is not funny for you implying she is corrupted and would need to die.
Corrupted, or, like, demon, or devilkin. Delilah just, like, preens, and the rest of us are like, they wish. Yeah, they just
Delilah's kin with devil. Delilah runs a kin Tumblr blog for devils.
Oh my god!
Oh my Christ. Okay. Okay, are y'all done? Are y'all done?
Yes.
Okay. What are we putting as priorities in case they kick things? I'm saying we put the armor. Armor is high pry, lantern plus holy water, medium pry.
I would prefer crossbow bolts, please. I don't have any long distance anything.
Plus...
You're probably thinking armor... I was about to say armor plus weapons high pry.
Okay, armor plus pistol plus bolts high pry. Lantern. Holy water. Medium pry. Also, wait, the healer's kits. Healer's kits. Lower priority is our, if you can spare it, potions. You already have a shit ton of daggers, don't you?
I have 9 currently, but
yeah, we're gonna put the daggers as low pry.
The daggers are fairly low pry.
The potions and daggers are low pry. The oil refills are low pry. Because, I mean, hopefully we're not going to be out there long enough that we burn through all of those. God help us. Chasing pigs around in the boonies for several weeks would be hell.
Oh, we're not necessarily chasing pigs.
Oh,
the immediate thing that they say about, like, you're going out there because pigs are, like,
hey, Frank,
missing.
How hard would it be to convince Frank to write Linda priority on the back of the sheet of paper that says katana for no reason?
I mean, I did not write the thing that said katana.
Oh no! At some point, like Alistair's just like, I need you to write this. Just as like a general note, because I wanted to actually compare your handwriting to mine. And he he will totally con it out of you. And then on the back of it, he's just like, because he's probably not trusting you to oversee this list, because he'd be like, we need books of the new god. We need 100 books of the new god so we can pass on the word to these villages. So he's like, nah, he's keeping away from that list. So, if
Truth is like, I agree with this one. Only books.
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna assume that, like, are just in that list. Okay, Frank, I'm sorry, I'm putting it, because do you think if fucking Alistair shenanigans you just write katana and Linda Purd in a piece of paper, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he trusts Alistair, so he definitely would. But the thing is, I can't use a katana, so I don't know what.
Actually, I think you can. You can. You don't get the extra 2 damage 2 to hit. Katanas are really dumb because they gain bonuses the more of it you have, but you can literally use a katana.
Ah, okay.
It just gets better once you hit 10 strength or 11 strength.
I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if this is a good thing to ask.
I mean, it's why it's not actually part of the official list, and why I had a thing written in your writing that's pinned on, so it looks really tacky.
Alright.
Is everyone basically okay with that? We have, like, the good list.
Yes.
I included the 6 books of the new god in there. God damn it, I can't get rid of my dignity back from that thing. At least choir. Oh, right. I mean, at least if we fucked it up, we may as well fuck it up completely. There we go. Our low priority choir boy. There we go. I feel like at some point it's like Alistair's going over like the list and like everyone's been fucking with it on and off. He's just like, God help me, why did I teach you how to write? I should ask for some quality cat food. Is everyone okay with us putting this in, though? We're not getting direct money for this mission, but hey, it's fine. We didn't actually have to do upkeep for this because it was connected to the last mission we did, which we did have to pay upkeep despite our horrible failure. So, yeah. Any vetoes? I will remove stuff if people are seriously like, remove it. I think the gag with Frank is hilarious, though.
I mean, I feel like it would be nice to not include Linda on there, but I mean, if Alistair tricks him into writing all of that, it's why.
Well, frankly, that's something is. It doesn't actually matter to me if one player has, say, like intellect 20 and the other has intellect 1. You don't get auto tricked into doing things because at the end of the day, you are the characters, you're the protagonists. You don't have to do things because another player tells you to. Period. Ever.
Well, I feel like it would be in character for Alistair specifically because he really does trust Alistair.
And yes, but that I was going to follow up with. But if you think he would, then that's just good roleplay. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah. And Alistair just getting his fun in because it's great.
Okay. So...
Hey, and you know what? Linda and the New God have provided before. Quite literally.
Yeah, provided us with an insane rude boy.
Hey, he's not actually insane. You just scared him shitless.
Praise be Linda.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, overall, people were generally happy with the priority of everything. In before they actually send us those books of the New God too. I'm assuming they will.
Yes, sorry, I need also a little bit of brimstone.
That's like, what for? To show what you don't do. Yeah, or
no. It's very good. It's very good moth repellent.
Definitely. Yes.
Moth and mosquito repellent. It's just like Delilah being like, this is how you burn it to put away them. And just Delilah like heating up this mound of brimstone in a campfire, and then you dance around it to get the airflow.
Oh dear.
Also, if you know any wind magic, you can go and like get it to get that breeze really going. Oh, you don't know any? Here, let me go and sing the song of my people as she breaks into dark speech, chanting around.
Song of my people.
Literally the dark speech.
Yeah.
I will be happy if I can get a pistol, though. Oh my god. So
I
I just don't have to be close to people.
Sasha, I forgot. When I was doing the training with Charybdis, I'm spending the 1 silver that I have to actually get a implement.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to make it like a crystal on like a necklace type thing that I can just keep tucked away.
Okay, gotcha.
You appreciate my fashion, so you're like, I'm gonna take something like it, but better.
Oh, can I also do that then?
Yeah. Do you think you have enough money, Kai?
All of us now know, by the way, which was the worst part.
Oh yeah, we're not dumb.
Oh yeah.
Particularly, like, as soon as they say that and they're all gone, I'm just gonna be like, how much did you take?
It's like as we're doing this, and it's like, man, this list, we sure have to be careful. It's so sad that just there wasn't all that money there. Isn't it so sad, Kai?
It's so sad. Kai's in the corner like, Alexa, play Despacito.
I love the fact that, like, Alistair never really had to lie to those guys either. It's like, what are you even looking for? So he, like, didn't have to be like, oh yeah, I totally ran off with, like, evil books from there. And they're like, we're looking for this box and this money. And he's like, huh. No, don't know anything about that.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
So wait, the box, do you actually... Because they're, like, got us. It's like, Kai, do you actually have, like, that box with the thingy that they're looking for? Because, like, just curious. I mean, the money, I sort of expected, let's be fair here.
It turns out they're actually standing outside just listening. It's like,
I
no,
mean,
they don't.
I sort of expected the money. I'll be entirely honest. That is something I expected. Don't appreciate it. Very much expected. But did you grab something magic? Because if so, like, I sort of want to poke it.
I don't knowingly have anything magic, but...
I mean, they're definitely very concerned about that box. And since they're witch hunters...
Well, let me go see
I don't think it's for its fine carpentry.
Let me go see what I have, and I'll bring out what's important and interesting. Can I don't want to open the box around them, because what if there's stuff I want in there?
And it's just like, But, you know, there's a thing about opening that box, Kai, is pretty sure it's possible one of us has a key to it. That was the thing the warden was a key.
You know I know how to pick locks, right?
Oh, I know, but I mean, I also know that somehow when we got your eyes off us, there was a ton of just... What's the word for it? Lucre? Filthy lucre? Yeah, that vanished, and this house does need maintenance, Kai. Choir boy.
I was...
It really does.
I was going... That's why I asked how much it costs for us to exist, because I was going to pay it for you guys.
Oh.
You know, out of character, what happened last time Kai opened the box? I figure it was like a dagger to the hand or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a dagger to the hand the last time they opened the box. It's like, Truth, could you do me a favor and please admonish the choir boy for failing in their choir boy duties right now?
I never said I followed the new god. So
Understood. You are more than likely some sort of heathen, and that is okay.
Yeah. I believe I would be considered a heathen by you. And that's
you are part
okay.
of the grand design. It is understandable.
Okay, thank you.
The new god has other plans for you.
Like
cool.
The theft is a little less than understandable, though. So open the box here, please. That's.
Well, I would have the box like hidden. Do you think Kai would just have stuff? So can I go?
I mean, Alistair was sort of hoping. He's like, God damn it, fine. Just try not to steal more than. God help me. He's just like, I need more tea. This is.
God will help you.
Anyways, the list is here, everyone. Feel free to check it. I'm making tea, and then I'm going to, I guess, cry over our continued poverty for a bit.
Can I go open the box?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps if you made less tea.
No, it keeps me hydrated between the bouts of crying.
Now the biggest question is, how far away is your thing?
I mean, I assume he would just have it hidden somewhere in
I just figure it's probably under like a floorboard or
a floorboard in one of the rooms that he's the most frequent visitor in.
Or like one of the things that I thought was really neat was you pull out a drawer and then you like actually flip the drawer over and stick it in. Because I mean, if it's like just a bottom drawer, because if you like put it underneath the drawer, because there's just space between sometimes, you can like wedge it in there. So you pull out a drawer, it's just, oh, it's a stuck drawer.
So I really, really want, like, Miguel at this point is trying to just get dirt on Kai, because having dirt on people is just useful.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
So I'm trying to sneak behind Kai to see what the hell they pull, to see if they pull something out of the box.
This is a thief versus thief.
It is.
I'm entirely okay with
Totally
this.
down for this. Now here's the thing. You both have trickery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you both have like con artist, burglar,
And burglar.
like that.
Yeah.
I have con artists.
So
I have con
spy.
artist and I have burglar.
So in that case, I'm not gonna allow either of you to use trickery or the benefit of that because you both have it, so it would be pointless.
Okay, can I describe what Kai would do? And then I guess...
Definitely. I want to hear a description from each of you. Keep it short, like we're talking like 15 seconds at most. And then we're going to be going agility and intellect with possible boons or bans.
Okay.
Well, agility and perception specifically, if there's any difference.
Yeah,
Kai.
it's the same, basically.
Does it matter who goes first?
Kai, you're sneaking. You go first.
Yes. Okay. Kai would probably have it hidden underneath a floorboard that's probably partially hidden by his bed, and he would have shut the door, and if it has a lock on it, lock it before he went to go open it, probably in the corner of his room, like halfway facing, so like he's facing a wall where he can kind of see the door, would be his vibe.
Alright, so basically you want to be able to, basically a paranoia thing where it's there, it's hidden, you can't get in without him, not easily at least, and then when you're looking there, you kind of peek out the door.
Yeah, because, I mean, burglar, he would probably be watching for the people of the house.
Makes sense, okay, so...
Half expecting
Alistair. So advantage slight towards Kai because he's not trying to get in before you, so no benefit there, but slight because you can see the door. Okay, Miguel, what are you doing?
Okay. So the big question is this on the first floor, or is this on the second floor? Where is Kai's room?
Do
you sleep up high, or do you sleep down low?
Kai's always prefer like on the building, but I don't know where the bedrooms were open.
That's fine. Given the size of the building, they could be anywhere. So if Kai prefers up high, then they're up high.
Yeah, probably second floor, because he doesn't want to be on the very top and fire, and I assume there's like 3 floors, but the middle's a sweet spot.
All right, then middle floor.
Sweet.
Now the secondary question, since this place is partially decrepit, are there any holes in the wall?
In the wall to Kai's room specifically?
Yes.
Kai, would you have holes in your walls to give you a way out in case you needed it?
Not that big of a hole. I'm talking I'm
talking like cat-sized holes.
Cat-sized holes? I don't know. He would pick the last room on that floor, like whatever was the farthest away from everybody else. So if that was a corner that would be more likely to have holes, he would probably try to do that.
Okay,
so he wouldn't be super picky with that, is what I'm trying to say.
He wouldn't have thought of it. Okay, well then we're gonna go with luck of the
beauty.
All right. Shut up, Roll20.
No.
Okay, there are no holes in the room. No. Well, not big enough to reach through. There's a few little peppered like things here and there, but nothing convenient for the purposes you're talking about, Miguel.
For looking through. Okay.
Yes. The only holes would be like that you could look through would be like higher up, so you'd have to be standing on something looking down to see in, and that's all kinds of awkward.
That is all kinds of awkward.
I set my fortune points to 69, and I can't take this seriously while I'm looking at it.
Good job.
If only there was something you could do about that.
Yeah, let me just fix that.
Okay, third question. Are these the type of keyholes that are more open, or...?
They're like standard old-timey style keyholes, so they are open.
So you could theoretically look through?
Theoretically, yes.
Since I'm assuming Kai's hallway is dark.
Most hallways in here are dark. There's not really any lighting aside from the holes in the walls letting sunlight in.
I'm sorry, bitches. Maybe if you guys put more money in towards the rent and upkeep.
So yeah, I guess the main option will be trying to sneakily look through the keyhole.
Okay.
I won't be able to see much, but...
Okay. Do you have dark vision or shadow vision? Anything?
So I'll say I don't in particular, but there's going to be a window near you.
Yeah, but I do have dark vision, so I was just wondering.
Okay. Well, in that case, given the positioning and the dark vision, and the dark hallway, I'm going to give advantage to Kai here. So you'll be making the perception check with 1 boon.
Cool.
Okay. So we've got Miguel. You're going to be making.
Now the big thing is, she won't necessarily know who it is. She'll just know that somebody was.
Yeah, that's right, yes. So first off, however, Kai, you don't need to make a sneak check because you're not trying to sneak.
Yeah.
You're just going home. Miguel, basically, you need to make a sneak check to start with. So agility.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey.
So you're slightly above average, and you're sneaking along. Now, Kai. So you are, you start kind of pulling up at the board, looking around. Make me a perception check with a boon. Yeah. So you basically pull it up, and you can just see this eye looking like you can see the color of the eye, for fuck's sake, of the roll, looking through the keyhole and just like staring at you. They were pretty good at sneaking up in the first place, but at this point, given how paranoid you are and where you've angled things in the room, you're just like, hey, there is like the glowing outline of a person in a video game. I can like see detailed stats on you.
Would I be able to tell it's Tulio? Or
Yeah, with that check, yeah.
with that check, okay. So it's kind of like, Tulio, I know you're there. Go away. And he's gonna say that, and he's gonna stop doing what he's doing to see if he can get Miguel to go away before he opens the box.
Okay.
And everything. Miguel, are you leaving?
The important question, is this before or after the teachings from Charybdis?
Let's say after.
After?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. It's too late to have done one thing that I would have said. I was under the impression that this was before, but this makes things interesting.
Okay.
Since she can only see the eye, and I know that she can only see the eye because you can't see anything else through the keyhole with that, just like... I'm going to try in like the super gruff voice, just like... Who says it's Miguel? Or who says it's Tulio, rather.
Okay.
I can tell it's Tulio, right? Like, that's not...
You get a solid snake voice for some reason.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the question. Before we even proceed with that, they're going solid snake and liquid snake on each other up here. I know that Alistair's making tea, but that still doesn't account for Frank, Delilah, or Truth 2.0. What are you three doing right now?
So the people have left, right?
Yeah, we have Alistair in the kitchen. You saw Kai get up and go up to, and like they had that argument, like, don't steal things. And Kai's like, whatever, bitches. And Kai went off. And then the guy known as Tulio looked around, stood up, and went after Kai. As for what Delilah and Frank are doing, I don't know yet.
More appropriately, I went off somewhere.
The other people, yeah, they're gone.
Performing a dark magic ritual, of course. What else would I be doing?
Naturally. You're dancing around the corpse of a baby.
So there's a moment where it's like Delilah's setting up a little like plate with a stone, and Alistair's pops in the kitchen like, outside, I don't care. It reeks in here when you do that. I'm not having it. Out.
I won't have it.
I'm still holding the key.
Oh, would you like another for like the other hand?
No. This one will suffice.
Frank's probably hanging out with Truth 2.0.
All right.
Are the two of them that left romantically involved?
Actually, Kai is with Delilah.
I forgot about that.
He goes into detail about the trouble they've been having with their relationship and everything, and that Delilah only likes Kai whenever he's a cat and all that stuff.
And Alistair, during the midway, since he eventually finishes tea, just brings out the pot and it's like nodding, like, that's right.
Then what does Tulio have to do with them?
Probably about all the money that was stolen from us.
Who stole money?
I was thinking, like, they're on the second floor. Should I? We're currently resolving that between us in a civil manner.
Understood.
Yes.
Where is the sanitarium?
Oh, it just gives, like, directions down the hall, etc.
I see. I still do not know how I got there.
I think by sanitarium he literally means the asylum, not the.
I was like the sanitarium. He's like, oh wait, you
hall.
mean the asylum? Oh, that's over, like, basically near Grieve. It's not actually the furthest from his home, is it?
Not the furthest, but it's still a full. It's a decent trot away.
Yeah, he's like, I wouldn't suggest venturing over there, but you know, gives general direction. We'll be probably seeing it once we return back from pig ferrying, I guess. I should probably send this out by post or whatever. Is there actually any way that I can deliver this without having to make a fucking trek for the note? No.
Probably
Wait.
a child. You pay them money, they send the message.
Where's Charlie? Yeah, I was about to, where's Charlie?
Where he always is.
Cause, I mean, how far is Charlie from here?
Charlie is usually in greetings.
How fucking, that's still far. Fuck it, you know what? Hey! Frank, my friend.
What's
Have you
that?
done your daily visit to Redemption?
Actually, I haven't. I'm assuming the session was canceled today because of the visit.
We
Horrible
have
murders.
to go and get this set up. So I was going to ask if you could perhaps deliver and by the way, just to make sure that like the little pin note isn't there, it's put in a second envelope, and I just ask Frank to like, could you please write this to Father Morgan on here? Since I'm going to ask you to just deliver this to him when you go to see your service, and I'm going to.
They're picking that up from the church.
Oh, are they
going
to be? Oh, yeah, are they actually picking up from the church or our house? Like, I was
Basically, they said give Morgan your list and whenever you want, and at the end of 2 days from now, we're going to go, and if the list is there, we'll look it over.
Yeah. Okay. So deliver this to Morgan. I will, in the meantime, do whatever little bits of research I need to, and also, I guess, study. Internally, not suspicious evil books, but totally suspicious evil books. Maybe I'll read your new book.
Certainly. I'll bring it over right away. Good friend I trust, that wouldn't trick me.
I mean, he was very...
The relationship between these two is going to end halfway through with Alistair being like, yeah, no worries, I got Frank take, and then Alistair's lifted up off the ground as Frank's sword arm goes through his chest. Like, hey, good friend, Linda says I shouldn't trust you anymore.
I mean, to be fair, I have done far less harm to him than Kai.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave Frank money.
No, I mean, I've just done less harm to Frank than I have done to Kai.
Oh.
I've like harmlessly pranked him. I taught you something that's one day going to lead to you taking shelter in a doghouse.
True.
Give me a portion of the money that was rightfully mine.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I do that, and I'm gonna go to my room to go and study while everyone else goes and does their thing. I'm like, truth, if you need me, I'll be here. Just let me know, if anything's amiss in the house. If you need directions or anything, let me know. If you need your key turned, do you need that turned occasionally, let me know. Yeah, that's about that.
Understood. Frank.
Yeah.
May I accompany you?
Oh, certainly. I'll show you the Church of the New God.
Understood. Thank you.
So are Tulio and I just standing there, Spider-Man meme?
You've been Spider-Man memeing for a few seconds. 1 sec.
I attempt to gently place the teacup down, but I probably shatter it when I do.
That's the sound you hear. It's just...
I will make sure, by the way, that as I'm walking along, I will every so often stop, like, if I see, like, an orphan or someone on the side of the street, like a beggar, and I will, like, reach into a pouch and bring out, like, a small trinket, like a little bit of scripture or, like, a little prayer medal or something like that, and I would, like, place it down in front of them or hand it to them, give them a blessing, and then continue on my way.
All right, noted.
Takes about 5 times as long to get wherever we're going.
So basically, it goes from being like a vaguely terrifying sight of something that could walk through a building heading straight at you to thank you.
New
Followed by
God be with you.
Followed by a short blessing and then back on the way. All right.
Dun 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 dun.
He's just humming to himself. Wait, you got. See, their other characters are a bunch of robots, and I'm just picturing them all walking on behind you. Dun 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 dun. One of them has a fucking triangle. And since there's no lyrics, one of them's just singing that. Okay, but back to the Spider-Man people. So basically, it's. Who says it's Miguel? Who says it's Tulio? I can see your eye. But
So
I was about to say, I know it's very obvious from a visual standpoint when you're casting stuff, but is there much vocal stuff for illusion?
You have to shout it out every time.
I know that's D&D rules.
I am going to change into a walrus now. Okay, it's very obvious from a visual standpoint. Depending on the spell, I'd say probably not. And yeah, I don't know, like it's vulgar in the mage sense, in the way that if you see it, you'll know they're casting magic, and it'll probably sound a little weird, but it's not like it has a distinct like sound of magic. It just sounds like something. If you were to say, drop things on the ground, like, and make a loud clattering noise, you might be able to cast a short spell without it being heard.
Fair. So I'm going to actually try to, like, trick play this out where, like, it sounds like there's some type of thudding, like just the body hitting the floor, like falling down as I'm doing it, just and then just spring back up. But I'm going to put a disguise over it where it's actually just like a slit eye, and my entire body is just going to look like decaying corpse, but with slit eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Kai,
the actual clothing is going to be like not mine, but tattered, like just tunic garbage.
Okay.
Okay, so Kai, you see the eye kind of disappear, and there's a boom. Then they get back up and stare back through again, and it's just this weird slitted eye.
Cool. So is there a closet in here?
Kai just diving out of the window now.
Oh my god. There is not.
There is not? Okay.
There was one, but it was actually like, but what happened was there was like some plastic in it, and basically, or something like that, and it basically sealed it shut. So unless you're to smash through it, you can't get in there.
God, is there a place in the room I could go to not be seen by the door? Because I was going to use fade and move.
Oh well.
If I can.
You said you did take something with a window, though, right?
I mean, I assume most rooms have windows.
Most, yeah. So you could, for instance, get out the window, probably. There is also, just to get away from the place immediately, you can just go to a different corner of the room, because it couldn't see you there.
Yeah. Does moving count as an act?
Well, moving, you have a move action.
Because the effect ends if you use an action or a trigger.
Well, not like, wait, what effect are you talking about?
Here, I wanted to use this to fade, but if I can't, then I'll just move, like...
Oh, no, like, an action, like, moving isn't an action. Dashing would be an action, so running, that would be an action, but...
No, I would just like to fade, so that the supposed corpse can no longer see me, and then I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
You're not gonna move, you're gonna stay where you are?
No, I would like to move, because I assume that lockpicking is an action.
It is, yes.
I would like to fade so that the corpse can't see me. So if it's trying to get in, it doesn't have any sort of bonus on me.
Okay.
It's Kai's thinking.
So it's... So, you take a look in there, and Kai looks over you and just goes... and just picks away. They vanish. They spontaneously combust.
This is literally Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. We're playing again.
So, they're gone. They disappeared. Were they an illusion? Have they learned how to teleport? Did they die?
No. You don't know.
You don't know. What do you do?
I'm going to make a lot of very loud noise down the hall, like it's just skittering, or like whatever it is just tromping, running, skittering away.
Okay, so you're gonna like kind of run down the hall like stomping and such?
Yeah, and then I'm going to try to like sneak back.
Oh my god. Sasha, do I hear all this tromping around?
You do hear boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Sorry, the first thing you hear is boom, followed by...
Because all I wanted to do was go to my room and study, so I'm like, what the fuck, going upstairs, and I just realized, and I'm going to see a corpse. Oh my god.
Yeah. And now, Miguel, how susceptible would you say Miguel/Tulio is to his environment? Like, he sees things, he picks things up in a mental...
I would say fairly.
Okay, cool. So the corpse also, given he's looking at a burned, scorched sort of area, the corpse, it's likely to presume, would have like scorch marks on it, kind of fit in with the theme. Okay, so Alistair, you kind of come out of your room and you turn, and there's this slit-eyed corpse in a tattered robe, like scorched and burnt, just going boom, 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 boom down the hallway towards you.
I need to check my spells. I need to check my spells.
We're gonna end up killing each other because Tulio wanted to see what Kai was doing.
Oh, Tulio.
Okay. Keep in mind.
Tulio wants to make sure that you're not jipping us.
Keep in mind that at this point in time, it's like we moved ahead with Frank and Truth as if they were not interrupted. But at this point, they're basically walking out the door.
Yep.
So if there's like any loud noise, their actions can be canceled.
Oh, thank God.
Delilah, on the other hand...
Also, if Miguel sees Alistair, he's just gonna hold like a finger up to his mouth and like mouth, "It's me."
Okay, does he get that out first? Because Alistair's immediate reaction was going to be injure.
Yes.
Oh shit!
He does.
So you're like watching, and it's like the Alistair's skull starts to glow like he's going to fucking do something. He's like, and he he just, it's like pause glows, and he just points at you and he goes, "Go the fuck downstairs. I'm studying." And I fucking, it's just like, just intimidate, because he's just so done with this already. Go the fuck down.
Alistair is actually throwing up slightly because he was temporarily terrified.
Go, yeah!
I'm fucking done. I hate you so much right now. Ugh. Slams door.
Crazy kids always doing something.
Can I hear Alistair doing that?
Well, all you hear is basically boom, 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 followed by "Go the fuck down!"
And then a door slam.
Well, now, this is an interesting little predicament. And they're going to open the box, are they? I'm glad they're still making such good decisions.
We ought to give Mark here a proper outro. So, hey! Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, absolutely. Well, first off, I'd like to say thank you for having me on. This was a whole lot of fun. And I will indeed be wanting to come back as soon as I can when I am not doing my own series of shows. But I was Mark Boutet. I'm your host, Mark, from Digital and Dice, which you can find us at digitalanddice.com. We make a couple different podcasts and some live streaming D&D of our own on Monday nights. So, if you find yourself with not much to do, hit us up.
Also, go watch the SGO files. It's so good.
Yes, I love the SGO files.
Fucking, I religiously watch that. So, yeah. Other than that, I guess we'll do the normal pluggy bits of, there's our fine artist Frond here, who also streams, CJ Ninja.
Hi, I do art. Please commission me. I'm desperate for money.
Woo! There's also our lovely companion here, the Walking Virus / Virus the Mad Bard.
Hello!
Do you currently do anything, Virus, other than existing and being goddamn it
not
life?
really. I am just an existing boy, and I talk about things.
You're a good
on
boy,
Twitter.
though. You're a good boy.
Vic, is he valid?
Yes, Virus is valid. Tulio, invalid. But Virus, valid.
Miguel, best valid.
Digital and Dice, also valid. Wanted to make that clear.
The most valid.
Yes.
Hey, Lovey.
For the new god.
You still alive?
Yes.
There also be the Lovey here.
Hello. Follow me on Instagram at Kakalukia Nvidia.
Is it safe for work, Lovey? I swear to God.
Yes.
It is. I follow it.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
16. I can confirm it's safe for work.
I have to ask because reasons, Lovey. But yes, it's safe for work, and Lovey is the cutest and handsomest. So there you go. Also, there's Shrimp. Shrimp, do you have anything to plug? I mean, you're working on your video game, right?
Yeah, follow me at Stockmania on Twitter. And by the time this comes out, you'll probably be able to see something from my action RPG I'm working on.
Oh, papaya.
Oh.
Yeah, I might even stream that bad boy one day. Whenever it's done. It'll be done when it's done, right?
Yeah, when it's done. I mean, soon, TM.
Soon, TM. Yes. And hey, Sosh, the illustrious DM, our purveyor of suffering, our maestro of misery. Tell us about yourself, your bad self.
I do YouTube videos.
And that's about as much time as we have tonight, so thank you for joining us.
I'm not really good at selling this whole thing. I make YouTube videos based on basically if you've ever worked in fast food or retail or customer service of any kind, hit up Gently Toasting. It's basically just your experiences except framed through someone else's mouth. So
also,
I can confirm they are hilarious.
Comedic Schadenfreude.
That too.
Anyways, we'll catch you next time. But if you enjoyed this content, feel free to tune in on Mondays, because that's when we do these little things and release them. Otherwise, if you'd like to watch some interviews with indie developers or indie reviews for indie games, you can check out our channel on Wednesdays and Fridays, and occasionally other days, but hey, don't call me out if it's not that. Anyways, so yeah, this has been Arlian. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and I look forward to hearing from some of you folks in the comments. In the meantime, see ya!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.